Hi Booktube, and welcome to a sideline video. Just a little unscheduled bit of film. I am supposed to be doing a Middlemarch meditation, but today when I was browsing the internet, I saw the Guardian obituary for Alice Munro, and it pulled me up short. You know, she's a Canadian writer. I haven't read much of Munro, so I suppose there was guilt. There was guilt. I've only read Runaway. But there was something else. As I was reading the obituary, what I didn't realize about Munro was that she chose to write short stories in spite a lot of pressure from her publishers to try and write novels. And that got me thinking, because I've been watching also some YouTube content in the last 6 weeks or so, these videos that are titled, "Is Booktube Dying?" And to some degree, I think the title of the videos is meant to draw you in and go, what, when? You know, but they're saying something different. I think what they're saying is that it is harder for some people now to continue with the formula that I saw. You know, when I set up my channel and I hadn't started making content, but I was looking around to see what's going on, what's this Booktube thing, and I realized, okay, there's this game that's being played, this competitive game. That's what it seemed like to me. And then the competitive game was keep up with all the new releases and read in quantity, buy books in quantity, and show people that you are buying books in quantity, reading books in quantity, keeping up with the latest thing. And there's a point where that market will just get saturated. So if that's what everybody means by dying, that is, there are channels where people have they've done that and done that and done that, and it's getting tiring, and it's not rewarding anymore because it's not really about picking books you really, really want to read and just reading them and talking about them. It is a kind of competitive game. I can't think of a better word for it. It's a thing that you get into. Somebody once called it a cult. Who called it a cult? Brian from Bookish. And he meant it in jest. But but there's a possibility that you could behave very much like that. You could get into it, and without asking yourself, is this what I really want to do, or am I just reacting to the pressure of it? And naturally, if you are just reacting to the pressure of it, at some point you burn out. So what has all this got to do with Alice Munro? Well, Alice obviously at some point or at several points during her career made the decision that it mattered more to her to write in a way that was truly comfortable, that truly fit her, rather than succumb to the pressure from her publishers to do something that they felt would do something to her career, that make her richer. I don't know. And I think on YouTube, there is this same price to pay. There's almost a you can't have your cake and eat it too situation. It may be that for a lot of content creators, you cannot make the content you truly want to make, the content that really satisfies you, read the books that you really want and talk about them in the way you want, and be popular, have loads of followers, have lots of people commenting, get lots of likes, be able to monetize. It may be that you have to choose between one or the other in the same way that Munro did. And people blame the algorithm. I wish I knew what that could any of us even understand it. We watch videos that tell you what it's supposed to do, but I think, how on earth do they know? But really, the algorithm is almost just an umbrella term for a thing that we cannot control. We can try to adapt to it if we can figure out how it works, but then we're really becoming the slave to it, aren't we? And that's the choice that we have to make. There are things that we can control. We can control what kind of content we make, or if we make content, we can control that. We cannot control how popular we will be, how many followers, likes, comments we will get, whether or not we'll make money, how much money that will be, whether or not we will make the algorithm happy on any given day. Those things are out of our control. And it seemed to me that what Alice Munro did was make a decision that prioritized what was in her control rather than prioritizing what was out of her control and trying to achieve some kind of control over it. So if Booktube is dying, maybe what's happening is people are just beginning to shift from chasing this illusory goal of trying to control what essentially we probably can't. because whatever the algorithm is today, it may not be in 6 months or 8 months' time. I get the feeling that it does change. So you are chasing something you're never going to catch up, surely. And I think, therefore, Alice made a very wise choice. I think it's a piece of wisdom that we could stop now while we are remembering her and her work and think about that choice that she made and how maybe it can apply to us as content creators. When I think of the channels that I really love to watch, and I'm reviewing them in my head right now, that's why I'm quite a bit silent, but most of the channels I really enjoy watching. I think the content creators have made a decision to go with what they really love. They pick and choose how much of the Booktube game, if you like, they're going to play. You know, how many challenges are they going to do? What tags are they going to do? Are they going to do hauls or not? Are they going to do TBR lists or are they not? Are they going to do certain challenges or not? They're making up their minds and they're picking. They're cherry picking what suits them best. So they're making up their own rules. They're not slavishly following that formulaic thing that I noticed going on when I first started looking around and I saw all these very similar presentation styles, very similar content, and I thought, wow, how much of this can a person want to watch? There's only so much. But when a person decides to bring to their channel something that is uniquely them, all of a sudden it's amazing how many channels are fun to watch. It really does increase it. But the price that they probably pay, that I think I pay willingly, is that you know that probably you're never going to be popular. Probably you're never going to attract a great crowd. Probably you'll never be able to monetize, or if you can monetize, it will just be a pleasant little amount of money that you could buy lunch with one day. But nothing that you could make a living on. None whatsoever. So how am I going to conclude this little video? I'm going to conclude it by saying, be more like Alice, if I can. I think Booktube isn't dying, but Booktube may be growing. Booktube may be shedding a skin and becoming a whole new creature. Because I think a lot of Booktubers now are deciding to get the content right for themselves and not for YouTube. And I think that's a wise decision because, sure, there will come times when what you happen to create and who you happen to be will hit the mark just right and you'll gain a lot of followers. But a lot of times, we got to be honest, we know that the truth is that doesn't happen as often as we wish it would. But I think if we were at peace with that, it would be better. I think if we could learn to be like Alice Munro and grasp what is true to ourselves, what really fits our nature, our personalities, our schedules, the other people in our lives and the other things that we do. If we could embrace that instead of feeling like perhaps we're fighting, then I think we're going to find this whole business of presenting on YouTube much, much more satisfying. And if this is the direction that Booktube is going in, then I say great, because it's going to become an even more interesting place to be than it already is. And that's it, guys. My little 10 minutes with you. Hope you're doing well this weekend. Hope the weather's good. Yeah. And I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.